What is the spiritual dream meaning of thunder?
What if your dreams, really, what if they were the difference between life and death for 70 people? And what if every single one of those dreams was announced by thunder?
Look, this isn't some hypothetical question. This was Harriet Tubman's actual reality. Her life is all the proof you need that this matters, seriously. When she was just 12 years old, a 2-pound lead weight, thrown by an overseer, struck her in the head. This injury, it almost killed her, and it changed everything. After that, she started having these blackouts. She saw visions she was convinced were visits from God, and they would arrive with this roar she called thunder. But it wasn't outside. This was thunder from within, and she didn't call them dreams. No, she called them orders. So in 1849, she did it. She escaped slavery. But then she went back. Not once, not twice, 13 times. And she led more than 70 people to freedom on the Underground Railroad. She navigated by night, by sheer instinct, and by those thunderous visions. When that inner voice roared, she ran. And get this, she never, ever lost a single passenger. Her life is the ultimate proof. The thunder you hear inside a dream, it is not just noise. It is navigation. For her, it was right every single time. Okay, so what does any of this have to do with you? Oh, it has everything to do with you. Because when thunder shows up in your dreams, your psyche is doing the exact same thing Harriet's did. It's trying to get through to you in the loudest, most undeniable way it can. It's basically transmitting on a frequency your busy, waking mind just ignores. But your sleeping mind, it can't escape it. It's screaming at you, listen, now, this matters. You know, most women wake up from a dream like that, heart pounding, and what do? They immediately reach for their phone. They distract themselves. They scroll. They let that powerful message just dissolve with the morning light. Don't be that woman. Whatever was said to you in that storm, that was meant for you and you alone. To even begin to understand it, you have to ask the right questions. And these little distinctions, they're not trivial. Trust me, they are the entire map. Okay, first question. What were you feeling right when the thunder hit? Was it sheer terror? Or was it a kind of awe? You have to be honest with yourself about that core emotion. Second, where was it coming from? Think about it. Was the thunder way up above you? Was it all around you? Or was it coming from inside you? The location is an absolutely critical clue. And third, what did it feel like it was trying to do? Did it feel like a punishment you somehow deserved? Or did it feel like a power you've been waiting for your whole life and it's finally arriving? And the last one, who was there? Were you completely alone in that storm, or was someone with you? Because their presence or their absence changes absolutely everything. You need to understand this. Thunder in your subconscious is not just background noise. It's one of the most primal, ancient symbols the human psyche even has. It's a message, a direct communication from the absolute deepest layer of yourself. You know, the part that knows the truth even when your conscious mind is way too afraid to face it. And think about it, across almost every spiritual tradition on this planet, what is thunder? It's the voice of the divine. You've got Zeus, Thor, Indra, Yahweh, the Thunderbird, Shango. Every culture that has ever lived under a stormy sky has heard something sacred in that sound. So what is it signaling for you? Well, it could be a warning you've been ignoring has finally reached a critical volume. Or maybe it's a power inside you that's awakening, and it terrifies you because you know it's real. It could mean some serious emotional or relational turbulence is coming, and you need to get ready. Or you could be on the very edge of a breakthrough that's gonna sound like total destruction before it feels like freedom. And this is why you, in particular, have to take this seriously. We are conditioned from day one to minimize our inner experience. You know, be reasonable. Don't make a big deal out of things. That conditioning is the absolute enemy of your well-being. And it's exactly why your psyche has to escalate things. It's not going to be subtle when you refuse to listen to subtlety. So what does it do? It sends the storm that shakes the entire house because you wouldn't open the door when it just knocked quietly. That thunder in your dream, that's the knock you can no longer ignore.
There is something in your life that requires your full, honest, undivided attention. Right now. Harriet Tubman's thunder told her to run. So what is yours telling you?
Part 2. Let's just jump straight in. If you're dreaming of thunder, your psyche is screaming at you. This isn't a whisper. All right, so let's get this straight. Not all thunder dreams mean the same thing. Not even close. You know the difference between thunder with rain and thunder in a clear sky? That's the difference between grief and a warning. It's the difference between get ready and act now. And that's the whole point, right? You absolutely have to know which storm you're in. Your response, well, it depends on it.
So, first up, dreams of urgent warning. This is basically the alarm system for your soul. It's your psyche giving you a heads up, firing a flare into the sky. It's giving you a chance to get ready for what's coming. The real question is, are you even listening?
Okay, look at these. Each one is a totally different level of alert. Distant thunder, that means a big change is coming. You've got some time, a window to prepare. But thunder in a clear sky, whoa, that's a disruption coming out of nowhere with absolutely no visible signs. And then there's thunder without lightning. Man, that one's serious. It means you missed the first sign. The flash already happened, and the consequence is already on its way.
So if you've had that last one, the thunder without lightning, listen up. The time to get ready is gone. This is your psyche slamming a deadline down on the table. You have to act. I mean, right now. Name that situation you've been avoiding. Put it on paper. Then decide what you're going to do about it. And here's the kicker. You have to act on that decision within 72 hours. Seriously, this is not a drill.
Okay, so let's shift gears. The next category is intense. We're talking about dreams of direct breakthrough. The energy here is totally different. This isn't a warning about something coming down the road. No, this is the event itself. It's already happened inside of you. The impact has landed.
And these really show you what that moment of impact feels like. Thunder with heavy rain, that's a deep, sacred grief that just needs to come out. Hearing words in the thunder, that's your deepest self talking to you point blank, bypassing all the noise in your head. And actually being struck by thunder? Wow, that's a massive truth that has just shattered your defenses. And I really need you to hear me on this last one. If you dream you're struck by thunder, your psyche is telling you something has landed. Something has fundamentally changed you. Don't you dare just write it off as a nightmare. This isn't destruction. This is an initiation. You've been touched by something real.
All right, now we get to the really tough stuff, the dreams of uncomfortable truth. These are the reality checks. This is your soul holding a mirror right up to your face, showing you exactly what you've been trying so hard to ignore. It's pointing out that the storm you keep saying is out there somewhere, well, it's already in the house. And every single one of these is a direct hit. Hiding from thunder? You're running from something, plain and simple. Thunder inside a building? Yeah, the problem is already inside your life, past your defenses. And red thunder? That's your psyche grabbing you by the shoulders and screaming, you are not overreacting. This is as bad as you think it is. But that last one, that one's special.
Let's really dig into this for a second. If you dream about thunder with a specific person, listen, they are not a symbol for something else. They are the point. The dream is demanding that you look at the raw, unacknowledged energy between the two of you. So you have to stop trying to analyze it away. Deal with the actual relationship. That thunder you hear, that is the unresolved tension.
So what happens if you ignore all of this? If you don't listen? Well, your psyche doesn't just give up and go quiet. Oh no, it just gets louder. And that brings us to the final stage, the unanswered call. This is your psyche's last-ditch, desperate attempt to get through to you. Because here's the thing, it will never, ever give up on you. This is what recurring thunder dreams are all about. It's the same message again and again and again because you haven't opened it. It's like your soul sent you a certified letter and you keep refusing to sign for it. But the message is urgent and it's not going away. It means some deep, unresolved issue is bleeding into every part of your waking life. And don't fool yourself, there's a price for ignoring this, a heavy one. The longer you let that letter sit on the table, unopened, the more it costs you. It costs you your peace, it costs you your health, it costs you your clarity, your relationships, everything. So here's the bottom line. The thunder will not stop. Not until you answer the call. It's just going to keep ringing louder and louder until you finally pick up. So, the only question left for you is, are you ready to answer?
Part 3. Okay, so you've had the dream, you know the one. The big one. The one that literally shook you awake. So, now what? Look, understanding what it means is nothing. What you do in the next 48 hours, that's everything. Yeah, let's just sit with that for a second. This isn't just some nice inspirational thought. It's a diagnosis. It's a warning. Just knowing what the thunder in your dream means, that's not the point. The entire point is to act on it. Right, so this isn't just theory, it's a mandate. And here's the plan. First, we'll cover the internal listening practices, then the external action practices, and finally, we'll talk about how to claim your thunder. All right, let's start with the internal work. We've got to tune in to what that thunder is actually saying. Because listen, that signal is crystal clear the moment you wake up, but it fades. And it fades fast. Okay, first up, this one is for the analytical woman. You know who you are. The one who processes everything through writing, who needs to see the words on the page to make sense of your own mind. Yeah, this one's for you. The second your eyes open, I mean it before your feet even think about hitting the floor. Before coffee, before you check your phone, grab a journal and just write. 3 minutes. That's it. Unedited, raw, a total mess. This is not about writing beautiful prose. It's about catching that raw transmission from your subconscious. And you're only asking one question. What was that thunder telling me? And let's be absolutely clear about the urgency here. This isn't a metaphor. It's neuroscience. Every single morning you reach for your phone instead of your journal, you are actively choosing to let that dream die. You permanently lose the signal. So the choice is really, really simple. Your phone or your life. All right, next up. This is for the woman who finds her answers in stillness. The one who already knows that the quietest moments hold the loudest truths. Let's talk about how to tap into that. So here's what you do. Find a good, high-quality recording of a thunderstorm. Lie down, put on some headphones, and just listen. Internally, you ask the sound itself, what are you telling me? And then comes the hardest part, you just receive. No forcing it, no judging what comes up. You're not even looking for answers, really. You're building a bridge to that part of you that already knows everything. And this really gets to the heart of the stakes, doesn't it? Your inner life isn't some weekend hobby. It is your navigation system. So if you're making big life decisions without consulting it, you are literally flying blind in the dark. It is time to turn on the instruments. Okay, now for the somatic woman, the woman who knows her body keeps the score, the one who processes through physical sensation, not just through thinking about things. Again, before you even get out of bed, just lie there and scan your body really slowly from your head all the way down to your toes. When you find that place, that knot in your stomach, that tightness in your chest, you stop, you pause. You literally put a hand on that spot and you ask it directly, what are you holding? Because your body holds the emotional truth that your mind is trying so hard to forget. And here's the crucial point. Your body will get your attention, one way or another. It doesn't stay silent forever. This practice, this is how you intercept a crisis before it becomes a medical emergency. You listen to the whisper, so you never have to hear the scream. Okay, so listening, that's half the battle. But let's be real, insight without action is just entertainment. So now it's time to move that energy out of your head and into the real world. This next one is for the woman who needs to be witnessed to understand herself. You know, the one who processes through connection, who has to speak her truth out loud to even know what it is. So you choose one person, someone you trust with your life, and you tell them the dream. That's it. You're not asking for advice, you're not asking for their interpretation. You are simply saying, I had this dream, it shook me, and I needed to say it out loud to someone. See, this isn't about getting answers from them. It's about moving the dream from the shadows into the light. And look, if you're sitting there thinking, I have no one safe enough to tell, I need you to pay very close attention. That feeling right there, that is the message. Your isolation is the thunder, and that's the very first thing you need to act on. All right, now for the action-oriented woman, the one who just needs to move, to do something, to make things happen. This is your practice. You're going to ask yourself one single question. What is the one thing this dream is calling me to do? Not 10 things, just one. And then you commit to doing it within the next 48 hours. The thunder isn't asking you to fix your entire life overnight. It is demanding that you take the next single solitary step. Because that window of opportunity, it's open right now. But that window will not stay open forever. And the cost of inaction is real. Delay costs you your peace, it costs you your health, it costs you opportunities. Every day you wait, the dream comes back, and it costs you something. And finally, after you've listened, after you've acted, you have to understand the scale of the power that you're actually dealing with. This is about integrity. This is about claiming what's yours.
This last practice is for the woman who processes through meaning-making, the one who sees the patterns, the archetypes, the big story playing out in her life.
So listen, this isn't just some intellectual exercise about mythology. This is about you. I want you to ask yourself this question. Where in my life do I hold that kind of thunder-like, world-shaking, creative power that I just haven't fully claimed? And then ask this, where have I been silent when I was meant to be heard? Where have I swallowed my words, held my tongue, when my voice was meant to be the thunder in the room?
And one more, where am I playing small with a voice that was built to shake the sky? Where are you shrinking, accommodating, dimming a light that was meant to be absolutely blinding? Be honest with yourself.
Because let's be crystal clear about this. Unclaimed power doesn't just, disappear. It turns inward. It turns on you. It becomes depression, it becomes resentment, it becomes chronic fatigue. You either claim your thunder or it will consume you from the inside out. And thunder does not wait for you to feel ready.
Think about this. This isn't just about self-help. This is about survival. This is about integrity. Harriet Tubman didn't have the luxury of just dismissing her visions. Her life and the lives of hundreds of others depended on her listening. And you might be thinking, well, nothing that urgent is at stake for me. But is that really true? Or have you just gotten used to the cost of not listening?
The thunder didn't come because it was convenient. It came because you were ready. It didn't come to frighten you. It came because some deep part of you is finally ready for the truth. So really, the only question left is this. Are you brave enough to let it in?